as many of you probably saw earlier, the final Grand Slam track has been cancelled. We can get into that. So far here in Oslo, some spectacular performances. And again, I apologize for coming late. My streaming structures service went down. Everybody's having that issue if you use the same platform. And so I had to try a workaround here. I had another workaround from another platform, but that also probably used the same Google Cloud services, and there were some challenges there. Yeah, but I'm here trying to figure out what's left of this Diamond League here. Already some great performances. Isabella Whitaker, 49.58. Spectacular performance there to run down Henrietta Jager there in the 400 meters ahead of who ran a national record of 49.62. Amber Anning 50.24. Yeah, right now I think the 1 mile is on track right now, and yeah. I can't see comments either, to be honest with you. I think there's an issue too with the structure for comments. So if you're putting that through, I'm not seeing that either in the structure of this thing right now. So I'm not, yeah. But I can go through a couple of the results that we missed so far, and then we'll come back live once everything again later on once my structure works in terms of what's going on. Yeah. So let me see. Yeah. Where we were here. Bear with me. This is not the best of the best. We had the 800-meter final. That was pretty good too. And that also isn't working. So, yeah. Wanyonyi held off Atowi there, the Spanish athlete, 42.78 to 42.90. That was a good run. I thought Wanyonyi was running out of steam rather, but he held off Sedrati in his first outing, I think, for the year, also running really well. And so a couple guys here under the 1 minute 43 second mark. It's a good field there. The Polish athlete there brought them around in I think 49.7 or so, 49.9 rather. Yeah, 49.79 to be honest, to be accurate. And I think Wanyonyi there probably went in just shy of 50 or 50 in general. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so I'll stop sharing. This is a kind of awkward way. I have to look for the comments on another thing here. What's up, Sherwood? I can't see the comments on my screen right now because I think there's some issues with YouTube and all these Google Cloud. Yeah, so you're saying one of the Jamaican papers has announced GS Los Angeles has been canceled because of financial reason. I was always concerned about the finances. I was too, and I wish I could put your comment on the screen, and for some reason I can't. Honestly, I don't know what to say about it or what to make about the whole Grand Slam thing. We've been talking about it on the channel from ever since, and the biggest challenge here was I just didn't see a way in which the money was going to be made, right? And but they have to tell you, right? They invested what 30 million up front. They had some sponsors. I don't know if it's the end of the road. We'll wait to see when they give an official press conference on that. But the numbers didn't look good in Jamaica, which was bad in terms of people there. Even in Myanmar, there are some empty seats there at different times, and that's a much smaller stadium. Penn Relays at Franklin Field, they had at the Penn Relay Stadium, they had a bunch of it seemed good crowd on the bottom level at Franklin Field, but the top wasn't used. I'm not quite sure if they didn't want to use the top or didn't pay for those services. And then, yeah, I think they struggled. And on television itself, they struggled big time. Because when you look at the Nielsen reports and the different streaming reports, they weren't hitting any numbers. I think one Grand Slam, they were hitting like 26,000 people watching. And that's not going to make it if you're going to crack the big dollars, especially in this media market in the United States. And you need a kind of sponsorship to pay out the big money that you're doing. So I don't know. We wait for the more autopsy. I'll come back and probably do something much more uh elaborate on it once we get better word. But I woke up really early this morning. I think when I was up like 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that, I thought I saw a report from the Times, and then I'm just watching this 1,000-meter final here. I don't even know what's going on here. It's going to be a really good run, like 3:48.24, but we'll see. What's up, all football? I have to be looking at the comments on my phone because, as I mentioned at the top of the live, the streaming platform that we use, it's all down, and if it comes back up, I'll switch. So I'm trying to go through YouTube's native structure here. I have another service, and that wasn't working as well. So for some reason, I can't put these comments on the screen. I don't know how to do that. I'm not even seeing them on this. There's something going awry here as well. Yeah, looking forward to the women's 100 meters according to All Football. I am too. Julien Alfred, first 100 meters of the season. She should be doing something special there as well. I look forward to that. That should be quick. She's in good form already. What, 21.8 over 200 meters. Ferdinand, my man, good to see you in the chat here as well. So yeah, I can put up some things on the screen, but it's awkward, guys. I apologize because of the structure of this thing here. But yeah. But good, interesting stuff that happened already. 800 meters. The steeplechase was a cracker too. Fate Cheretich holding off Yavi there in a sprint to the end, 9:02.60 to 9:02.76. It was a beautiful run in the end there by those two women. As you know, they're part of the podium from last year as well. High quality runners. So that was a good run there. That before I got on, that was running. Trying to think what else we missed. There was a men's 200 meters. That wasn't that special, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, it was good run there from Mena from Cuba, running 2020. The Swiss athlete there coming in second, 2027, and Andre de Grasse running a 2033. So right now, when you think about the landscape of the, what's up, Henley? Are you doing? I have to look to see comments on another thing. Yeah, the 200 meters, nothing special right now outside of, you would have to say, Kung Fu Kenny way above everybody else. We haven't seen Noah yet. I'm not sure when we'll see him. Let's see, Litobogo didn't come out for the 100 meters, in the 200 meters rather, after running the 100 meters in Morocco a few weeks ago. So hopefully he gets back on track. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well, giving thanks. All football. I'm new to athletics. I'm a football. I have a small content creator. I'm getting more into athletics, but it strikes me how bad the promotion advertising is. Yeah, that's a long standing issue in the sport of track and field, all football. The biggest issue here is track and field still is encompass. Most of the attention around it rather comes out of the Olympics. It's the biggest spectacle at the Olympic Games, but you don't really necessarily capitalize on what happens outside of it. There is long-standing issues around that. We can talk about that as we like. There's a big diamond league at the level where you see top class athletes. There's a continental tour, which is somewhat below the diamond league, but also big meets with legacy meets that are attached to it. And you can find it. You have to pay for it for most of it, depending on where you are, but it doesn't get into the airways or get the kind of fanfare, especially in a media market like the United States, that you would expect. And Grand Slam just came recently, and they are struggling already from the get-go. And the big news is the LA Grand Slam is canceled, and we have to work through that. Hi, Doreen. Sorry, I can't put comments on the screen. I came on late. My streaming platform service that we use big challenges there, to be honest with you. It's not working for everybody who uses that service, and it's not up. I think it's connected to a Google Cloud service, and there's a massive outage. Yeah. But the women's 100 meters on track, and we'll see it. The great Julien Alfred. I'm very looking right there in lane 5 right now. Next to her is Dina Asher Smith, training partners. Lokemka there in Gina Lokkenkamper, if I'm butchering her name, sorry. Van der Verken is there. Nita, Talu Smith. This is a good field. Alfred, Asher Smith, Dasso as well in the race. And McCoy as well, who's been running a lot there this season. The Liberian, I think the Liberian athlete. She's been almost at every meet, so we'll get to see. All right, the Olympic champion being introduced right now. Not good conditions in Oslo. I expect her to destroy this field. We know she's going to do this unless something goes wrong. This is probably one of the most anticipated races of the year, just to see Julien Alfred step out. But Dasso is there as well. She should get good competition, but none of these women can hang with her if she's in top class form. And you have to think she is in great form. Let's see what we get from Julien Alfred. Looking really good, body type, everything nice. Good to see Talu Smith out here. Ran last week, I think, earlier this week too, rather. And elder stateswoman there as well. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing from Dina so far this season. I keep hyping her up, thinking it's going to be a fantastic year, but we'll have to wait to see. Yeah, and Talu is managing her season much more differently because of one, she's not a youngster anymore. But we should get a sub 11 here. So really clean start. Lovely start there from Talu. But Alfred is into her running and she's walking away with this. Really relaxed. She's actually easing to me. Cruising 1089, 1.1 win. I don't think this was even a big run for Julien Alfred here. Yeah, it looks like once she got into running, she just kind of eased into this. I have to see this again. She's not even smiling. It looks like a training run for Alfred, to be honest with you. This looks like a training run. Officially 1089, 11 seconds flat for Marie Jose Talu Smith there. 1108 for Dina Asher Smith. Maybe I could share the screen again. Let's see if it works on this platform. Yeah. So that's the results there. Let's see. I'm looking at this again. So good start from Asher Smith too. Alfred just looks like a supreme athlete. And once she got to like 60 meters, she wasn't even running hard. She was just easy. Didn't get out as good as maybe Talu, but got in. But they had nothing on her. 1-2 steps, and she took away whatever advantage they may have had. Arms were dropping a bit low, but look comfortable. This was like an Alfred that just wanted to warm up, to be honest with you. Yeah. This is not even a... Yeah, so season best for her. Well, it's our first outing over 100 meters. I'll get back to this comment. I don't know if let me see if I can reload the comments here. I may end up coming out. Hopefully, I don't come out. Ah, I'm back. Let's see. Can I get this on the screen? I don't know how to get this on the screen from using YouTube system. I apologize. But all football is saying, I suppose it's hard to promote athletics to a large scale because the major events are only 10 to 20 seconds. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess the part of it is the marquee events are it remains a sprint. It's easy also to explain the sprints. It gets much more complicated when you try to break down to the uninitiated what clearing 6 meters look like in pole vault, what going 2 meters if you're a woman in and over in the high jump, or for men going 230. What does it mean to jump 8 meters, 50 and above in the long jump? There's some kind of explanation that's necessary. I don't think it's out of the question. What maybe the way in which you advertise this is more from a competitive thing, the star power. What does it mean to throw 20 meters is interesting. Early, I don't know if you saw earlier this year, Ryan Krauser, they launched the World Shot Put Series and they did it at the Drake Relays, and they tried to just put markers and people just attempt to reach those markers, and you had two shots. That's a bit easier to understand than if someone throws 23 meters or 21 or 20 if you're the uninitiated. Jordan Scott there in the lead for the triple jump, I think, but Mondo on screen as well. So yeah, that's the challenge there, to be honest with you. What's up, Brian? How you doing? I don't know how to get these comments on the screen using this platform. I don't think I can. Here, my regular service is down, so I can't even log in there. So I just have to read your comments. Corrales here trying to go over 892, 592 rather. It looked like he was going to go over it, but it didn't happen. Yeah. Yeah, so that was a really good run there. The big event of the night, outside of what we just saw from Julien and Alfred, is going to be the men's 300 hurdles. That should be a fabulous run. As you know, the 300-meter hurdles this year is a new event in track and field in terms of being an official event. It's been around, but run in different structures in terms of, I think, if you ran it as a youth, it would be different in the United States versus elsewhere. But here, Warholm ran this at the Shaman Diamond League when he ran 33:05. So this year they'll be sorting out times and official world records. Technically, the world record is what, 33:05. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's still considered a world best. By the end of 26, you'll get something official on this, and it should be an interesting thing. But they're hyping this up. I am skeptical about the 300-meter hurdles. Brian here is saying, I don't really care for it. I agree. I don't really see the point of a 300-meter hurdles when you add another couple, it's what, 7 hurdles, you had another 3, and you get 400-meter hurdles. I'm not seeing the point here. I suspect if you wanted to make it enticing, I would have gone with like a 200-meter hurdles on the curve, or a 150 hurdles if you can. Something that would allow an in between the sprint hurdlers and the the 110 guys could dabble in. Maybe that would be interesting, but I actually don't. I don't know why they did that. I'm not a big fan of it either, but we'll see. It will be good. Belmos, what's up, man? Good day to you. I normally get your comments on the screen, but I'm not using my regular service today, so I can't. And yeah, we'll see. Rai Benjamin is there. It's his big first outing. We'll get to see them again on Sunday. I'll be back live for Sunday for the watch along for the Stockholm Diamond League. That should be fantastic too. We'll see those guys over 400 meters. But Benjamin is here, Dos Santos, and Warholm. So whatever happens, it should be a spectacular race coming up. But it's not. It's not what you always want to see. all football is saying, I'm someone who doesn't come from athletics background or anything like that. I'm a soccer fan, but I became invested in athletics because of the fascinating stars like Lyles and Gout. Ah, yeah, Gout is an interesting athlete. I think he has a lot of talent. Personality, too. He does have personality. What is he, 16, 17? I should have a bright future ahead of him once he grows up. Lots of pressure on him, obviously. We'll get to see him at the World Championships this year, already making the Australia team. Uh, the sport needs personalities. To be honest with you, track needs big personalities and rivalries to really grow from your point. So all football is saying that. I agree to that extent. You need big personalities. You need stars. Every sport needs that. It needs organization in terms of trying to recruit people to watch a sport, right? And that's always been a big challenge. I often said the amount of people who watch track and field for that 2 week period during the Olympics every 4 years, if World Athletics and the various stakeholders could siphon off 10-15% of the casual fan and turn them into fans that are really who really love the sport, then the sport would grow and you could grow step by step. There's a lot of track and field to be had around the world. The Diamond League, healthy competition, continental tour likewise. There's meets here and there. It's how you package it, how you get it to the eyes of younger people is interesting. I don't know the answers to this, to be honest with you. I thought about it before and I can riff on it in different directions, but I always have to come from a standpoint. For someone like me, I always like to say, what is it? I will watch track and field. I'm ingloriously discriminating, right? I just watch anything, you know, and I'm not the target demographic for that. And I know the challenges ever since growing up, trying to find track and field to watch, especially when, if you go back 15, 20 years, 25 years ago or more, it was always a challenge to find stuff. Now you can watch everything at some point. It's still there are barriers to entry in terms of if it's behind a paywall, but I hope that changes. Hope that changes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But appreciate the comments. I think on track right now is men's 5,000 meters. That should be a good race. A bunch of great athletes there. I think Kajekshla is there. I think I'm seeing him in the corner of my eye. I forgot to look at the starting lineup for that as well. But that should be a good race. Only a few more events. Yeah, you will get the 400-meter hurdles after that. But let me see what's going on here. Yeah, there's Kajekshla there for sure. There's Geberet, so Hagos Geberet. There's a bunch of interesting athletes here. Kumar Gurma there, not Lemaitre, but Kumar. Yeah, decent kind of a bunch of athletes there. So we'll see what happens there. We'll have a women's 400-meter hurdles. Who's there for that? It's not a high quality field. I think we'll get a better run come Stockholm, but Delilah Mohammed is there. She's on a swan song. Anna Hall is fresh off of her ridiculous performance there in Gotismot recently over the heptathlon. You know, she's having a great season. Should be one of the favorites to secure the medal places, potential of the gold medal come September over women's heptathlon. Yeah. So, and then the night ends with that special 300-meter race. So yeah. Let's see. I'm going to check some more comments here. Sherwood is saying the personalities are there, the stores are there, the talent is there. They are just not marketed well. No, I think I agree with you. There's a lot of interesting athletes around, and it's just not it's not, it's not being pushed in an interesting way. You have to market to different audiences. If you're a hardcore track and field fan, a veteran of the sport, you watch it all the time, you aren't the person that athletics need to market to. You really have to market it elsewhere. And to be honest with you, think about Bislett games like this. The tickets were sold out since January. All right. I have a friend that's in Scandinavia, and I was telling him you could try to go to see if you can get into the Stockholm game. I was saying you can't get tickets, right? So it's different markets have people following the sport, but as a television spectacle, they haven't done a really good job on this. A bunch of stuff coming out here. Let's see. Henley saying outside of Europe, track and field struggles partly because of poor marketing, lack of brand association with track and field, plus the markets in which track and field is major is largely poor. That is also true. So you think about if your sport is going to be successful, it has to crack the United States. That's the biggest media market in the world. It will continue to do that for a while. Perhaps if you can crack China now, because China, the market in China is improving immensely. It's not quite the same, but if you think about what happens with basketball in China now, a lot more. The league is improving. A lot of eyes on it. In fact, most people watch basketball, NBA from China anyway. So as the middle class grows there, the money can move there. But you have to crack the U.S. market in some way. And track is big or decent in Britain, but it's a far distance, right? It's not anywhere close to football or soccer, and it's not even close to cricket in England as well. You get a little touch in Australia too, but it's still not big enough to compete with the other sports, Uh, yeah, and then the rest of the world, the markets are tiny, right? You can't really make big bucks out of the Caribbean. You can't make big bucks in parts of sub-Saharan Africa if the market is tiny. You could try, but how much money you're going to spin off that can turn the sport around in big paydays is interesting. So you may have to grow. It's more of a growth model and that kind of a thing. Yeah, but you make some solid points there for sure. The Europeans, especially, they like the track and field. The meets tend to be of a good size. Last week in Italy, I don't think the Rome Diamond League sold out. It looked like there were some empty spaces there. But London should be a big meet. London is always huge. I was toying with the idea of going, but I don't know if I will. Yeah. Uh, oh, there's about 6 laps, I think, on my end here for the for the 5,000 meters. Uh, Brian is asking, what are your thoughts on GST being cancelled in LA? My initial thought here is disappointment. It's never, let me say this. From the start of the Grand Slam, even from last year into this year, I I had a lot of reservations and I made a couple videos. I talked about some stuff. I backed off of it because it made it seem as if I was coming from a position of not liking what I'm seeing. So I always had to make this caveat that any kind of breakaway league or new league or structure to grow track and field, I'm in favor of it. I want to support it. I think that's important. But the structure of what they did, I was very skeptical of it. I felt like the first product of running a 3-day thing was an overkill. I was always skeptical of just doing a track meet where there's no field events. And the reason why I said that, and I wasn't probably clear on it, I'm skeptical of people organizing meets and not understanding the value of the field events. Because unless, what are you going to do with the dead space? And it turned out there was a lot of talking. And if you're inside the stadium, you can't put your eye on something else. And so that was really challenging. They eventually moved from 3 to 2 and now to none in LA. That is very disappointing. Will they have to clarify more on what's happening? I had done some back of the envelope calculation, and I figured that they ran out of money really early, given what I saw and what the money that they had initially. What was it? An initial $30 million initial investment, and the estimation was that they will run some deficits until the thing turns around. But for it to be successful, it has to be what people in the stadium is one. The only reason why you want pack people inside of the stadium is that it creates atmosphere, it creates a good television spectacle. Most major sports don't really care. Well, they care, but the revenue doesn't only is a small amount from match day revenue, if you want to call it that, right? You can make, if you have a big stadium, a lot of people come in there, you'll get money, obviously concessions, that kind of stuff. But it's when you see that on TV or on the streaming platforms, you're like, whoa, that's an incredible event. And so Grand Slam didn't really have that kind of spectacle. And they did some camera magician, not magician, what am I saying? They did some tricks with the camera, especially in the second iteration, in order to make it look as if it's a big thing for the TV. Unless you can sell the streaming rights, unless you can sell that kind of stuff, it's hard. And it's a chicken and egg thing. Sponsors won't come on if they don't think you can pack stadiums and people want to watch it on TV. And you have to show the data. It's not like you can make it up. We can know gate receipts, and then you'll know what the extent to how people watch on television or on streaming. So, how much is the contract with, say, NBC? I don't know. I don't think it's as much as how they used to pay for the Diamond League. It certainly has to be less than that, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm rifting too long. Ferdinand is saying Oslo was sold out in February. Yeah, it is. It's hard to get into Bislett games. It's not a huge stadium either, but it was sold out. I think they have 2 laps to go here on this 5,000 meters. They have 10 Mills is leading right now. There's around 11 minutes and change. Not quite sure how fast they'll run. Probably 13 something here, given this kind of pace. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, George Mills is the son of Danny Mills. I didn't realize this. Yeah. His dad was a football player. So, yeah. Yeah, this has to be like 13 and change. Kajetcha looks like he's in third position. I'm not quite sure who's in second right now. Oh, this might be quicker than I think. This might be 12 and changing. This is like a bell lap, 11 something. Let's see what you can get here. Nico Young is in the mix as well. Oh, they're going really quick. This is going to be under 13. This is going to be a ridiculous run. This has to be like 12.5 or something like this. Nico Young takes the lead. Mills is fading. I don't know where Kajelcha is. He got left. That is really good. Mahir is running, but Nico Young outclassed them. 12.45, 26. It's pretty good running there. That's a big PB for him. That's probably the second fastest time in the world, I think. 12.45.93 for Mahiri. Kuma Gurma, that is 12.46. Mills 12.46.59, which is a national record for Great Britain. Gabaretti 12.46.82. That's really good running there. That is really some quick running. Let's see. Let me get back to some comments here. Ferdinand, South Africa messing up Australia at Lords. I want to tell you, it's been a fabulous test match there. Bear with us, like we transition to cricket. It's been good. I mean, the fast bowling. Rabada was spectacular in the first innings. Then Australia came back, and Pat Cummins there, excellent. Mitch Stark, obviously, as well, but Pat Cummins with a pick. And then, South Africa again. I mean, the match is over tomorrow, I think. It has to be over tomorrow. But anyway, we'll talk cricket another time. But that was is a fantastic and Didi today bowling really well. Great stuff there from South Africa to come back into the game, and also good use by Tima Bavuma, I would say, on the with the querying, right? Challenging and all that stuff, and especially to get rid of a couple guys. So yeah, I like what I see here. Uh, let's see. Henley saying GST was not properly thought out from a financial perspective. Good idea. Also, GST did not have the audience reach. Even the Philly leg had to condense 2 days, and the 5,000 meter was removed. Yeah, it's it's. I agree with all of that. I have to be honest with you. I see you. Are you doing? Good to see you. I can't put you on the screen. I'm using I had to use a different platform. My regular service is down today. Uh, Back to your point there, Henley. You're right. I think from the get go, when they announced a 3 day track meet, I knew that was garbage. Like, and I'm using. I shouldn't say that. I knew that it was ill advised for them to do that. It's like a 30 something minute worth of running when you do everything. What are we doing, right? Like, why am I sitting in the stadium that long and there's nothing else to look at? I'm not saying if you don't like the shot put, fine, but you could have put triple jump, you could put long jump, you could do explosive stuff and still and kill time. And to issue 100K when, and I know why they did that too. They did it to attract athletes to adopt this new league. And again, when you listen to Michael Johnson or anybody, you have to take away different things from what they're saying. So yeah, the money, the pay is good, and we're doing it to assist athletes. No one is doing that. That's talk. It's a marketing ploy, right? If sports is a business. If you cannot, it's not a philanthropic thing. You have to make money to pay out, and they're paying out more than they can make, and that's challenging at the moment. I see you're saying how the cookies crumble for GST. Well, I don't know. I mean, they probably burn money. We'll see. I mean, there's some interesting reports earlier today. Have they come out with a press conference since we've been on live yet? I haven't even. I don't know. Yeah, they haven't even updated anything yet. So I guess we'll wait and see. Yeah. There's also talk that they'll announce. There's a report that I saw too that said they would announce new sponsorship for next year, but I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see. It's hard to compete with the establishment in track and field. It's very hard. And a lot of these meets, the Diamond League, we call it the Diamond League, but the meets are independently run, right? They're long-standing meets, and some of them usually pay more than others historically from a perspective of luring the athletes there. So your appearance fee, not the prize money part. But yeah, I just it's tough. It's tough. It probably would be much more successful if you launched it in Europe in terms of people who are in tune to want to watch the sport. I don't know, but it's also maybe it probably wouldn't work either, because then you're up against big games, right? Yeah. And it's hard to compete. If you had a meeting in Zurich, it's going to be tough to compete with the Zurich Diamond League. People put that in the calendar or something like that. And there are moments that when you look at even Grand Slam, even though if they manage to actually bring in some high quality athletes from time to time, they have them, but when you look across the board, sometimes it's steep like it looked like a continental tour. Not all the time you had all 8 lanes being occupied by super talented athletes. And usually in the Diamond League, you get that, maybe one or two, but invariably, on balance, you get a lot more, So we'll see. What is this? As J won a women's 100-meter race at OBJ. What is? I'm not sure if I don't know if I understand what this is. Oh, yeah, Julien Alfred. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. Oslo Bislett game. She's already won. Yeah. No, sorry, you were writing in the code there at first. I wasn't sure what was happening. When you had JA, I was like Jamaica. But yeah, Alfred won comfortably, 10:89 ahead of Talou Smith, 11 flat, I think, and what was it? Dean Asher Smith in third, 11:09 or 8. Let me check. I have to check the result again. Alfred, I think it was a training run for Julien. She didn't. I don't think she came out of second gear, to be honest with you. She just looked like this was an easy run. She executed good parts of the race. The final part, I'm sure Coach Flo wouldn't be happy with it unless they're doing like an easy training run there. But yeah, it was. Let me give you the official results again. I'll try to put it on the screen. I can share the screen here. Yeah, that's it. It was 10:89, 11 flat, 11:08, and the wind was 1.1. I think, yeah, 1.1. Yeah. And just to do the 5,000-meter final, just for those who didn't get it, personal best for Nico Young, second fastest time in the world. Mahiri there, personal best for Germer, 2 national record for Mills, season best for Gebuet. Women's 400-meter track right now, 400-meter hurdles on track. I think for Lorenzo looked decent there, but I thought, who is this? Mohammed was back into it, but I don't know for sure. Mohammed is running really good here. I mean, she's like ahead of everybody by 5 or 6 meters here. I don't know how fast this is because the quality of the field isn't as good as you'd normally expect. But she's into the stretch here. Mohammed is going to win on the Diamond League again, and that's really good to see. It's going to be like, 53:34 for her. Not a bad run. That's a season best time for her. I mean, maybe she has a 52 left this season. Maybe. Something happened to Anna Hall too. I have to look at that again. Good run there for Mohammed. Let's see what what happened to Anna Hall. Looks like she was in like third or fourth position. Oh my god. All clattered the final hurdle and fell. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I think this looks like a timing issue here. Yeah, our steps were off. Steps definitely off. Got into the next lane, into the athlete next to her for Lorenzo. Didn't look like she impacted her, so that's good. Yes, I see her. Mohammed rolling back the years for sure. Definitely rolling back the years for sure. A big run here for her. Let me get this results up here in a second. It looks like she won almost close to a second. Actually, more than a second. Oh, that was a big run there for her. It's good to see her trying to end her career the way she wants to end the career. I'll get that up. So that's 53.34 to 54.44. Hall clattered the last hurdle, but she's been having a spectacular season so far. All right, so let me race on the track before we get out of here. It should be a classic. Yeah. I see her saying the college athletes are burning up the track. Yeah, ridiculous stuff happening there at the NCAs. I gotta watch some of that later on when I'm done with this. Mondo right here trying to go over 6:03, second attempt. He hit it. Failure again at 6:03. Interesting. Yeah, the college athletes are in stellar form there. I mean, again, the Oregon is a great place to be if you really want to run fast. If you want to be doing your best, it's always a great place to be in Eugene there. Fast, one of the fast, you get super fast times there all the time. Yeah. We'll see what we get from the 100 meters for sure. But some spectacular performances happening there. Yeah. Even in the field, the kid from Wisconsin there throwing 21, 22, 21, 23, I think, to win a shot put. And so there's a bunch of good stuff happening there. And so we'll wait to see, sub 20, sub 10s. It should be really, really good stuff there. I want to see what Charamba will do. There's a bunch of athletes there at the NCA. I'm gonna check a couple more results that was happening that I didn't get a chance to finish. I think Mondo already won the pole vault. He actually went over 6:03. I think he's gonna do 6:50. I think he went over 6:15 as well. So I think that the pole vault on this is behind. I want to check the triple jump as well. I think Scott was still the women's triple jump. Let's do that quickly. Perez Hernandez got revenge this week, won it in 14:72, ahead of Ricketts from Jamaica, Shanika Ricketts, 14:57, more 14:41, a season best for her. Povea, 14:36, Olympic champion Thea LaFond, 14:26 for fifth. And Smith from Jamaica, 14:26 as well. Yeah. So I think Jordan Scott here is going to jump again in the triple jump here. I think he's in the lead with 17:34. I'm not sure if he'll. Oh, he didn't make that attempt. Didn't run through on that. Pichard is in second at 17:06. So let me get back to some comments here. I see you're saying, how can you run 9:86 2 weeks ago and not make the NCAA final? Yeah, I saw that from the Ghanaian guy. What's his name? Siminuma or something like that. I mean, he ran what did he run in the heats yesterday or semis? 10, was it 10:15 or 10:09? I can't remember now off the top of my head. And Brian is saying Jordan Anthony says he's aiming for the American record on Thursday, 9.69. Well, I did see that interview, and he said, why not? I'm not sure he understands what 9.69 is. But if you're an athlete and you see that, you have to take aim at it. So more power to him. American record held by Tyson Gay. 9.69, as you know, is also the second fastest time run by someone other than Usain Bolt, held jointly by Gay and Johan Blake. The difference between 9.8 and 9.6 is massive. I don't see it, but if he says he's going after it, let's see. Someone asked me about the Jordan Anthony thing recently, and I hadn't seen much of him, to be honest with you. I know I'm now seeing him, so I don't know. I 969 is ridiculous. I don't think he can run that. I don't think no one can run that right now. It's not a thing. I'm pretty okay in saying that I just don't see, if he can do it. I know he feels good from that 975 he ran, which was win-aided, but 969 is outrageous running. Everything has to align. I'm not sure if he's that quick. Yeah, I figured he meant Friday night. So the 400 meters are on track. Not the 400s, rather, the 300-meter hurdles. I expect 33.09 to go. Mondo here, I'm getting to see the 6:15 attempt. Well, he didn't make the first attempt, but he did clear 6:15. So I'm not sure why they're not showing that. And I'm only running one stream. I could run, I should run the other stream to see the field events. But yeah, appreciate everyone hanging around. Sorry I can't get your comments up as usual, but I'm using a different platform. I'm just using YouTube native platform because my service is down. But yeah, lots of track and field. As we've been mentioning, the NCA is in progress. On Saturday, on Sunday, we'll get the Stockholm Diamond League. I'll be back for that. That should be fabulous. And then we had the FB games a couple of days ago in Hengelo. Good performance by Femke Bol there. It was also good to see the Olympic champion over discus come back. Didn't win, but he's throwing again, I think, on Sunday. So some interesting performances there this past week. Serious, and what's the relevance in the 300-meter hurdles? I don't know the answer to that. I'm still baffled by it. I it's still designed for the 400-meter hurdlers, so I'm not sure why they want to do that. And if you wanted something that would pitch sprint hurdlers against the 400-meter hurdlers, maybe you go in the middle. You do something like a 150 or a 200 meters. Do maybe a 200-meter race, and then you could entice athletes like Grant Holloway and so on to see if they would be willing to do it. But I'm not quite sure. I think it's some of the innovations that they test. I'm not sure I'm in agreement with. The takeoff zone stuff, I'm still trying to work my way around that one. And the next thing that they're going to try to do, and I don't know if they'll actually do it, but they've trialed it too, is the clearance instead of in the pole vault. So how far you clear, that's where they would give you the measurement. I'm not sure that's necessary either, but we'll see. Oh, the Running Sideways book is a great book. It's a book about uh, Pauline Davis, so the great Bahamian athlete. Honestly, I didn't finish read all of it, but it's her. It kind of goes through her life and how she got into athletics, and from minimum means and so on. Yeah. But it's the Bahamian athlete Pauline Davis. She became the also part of the World Athletics governing body and so on. Yeah. Yeah. So Markus Rooth here on the javelin throw. Oh, this is for the multi-eventers. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So one more event on the track. So yeah, the official result in the triple jump is Jordan Scott, 1734 from Jamaica. He's been having a fabulous season. Pedro Pichardo, 1706, and Max Herb, 1696. Zango, they are finishing down in 7th, 1656. Zango, this is his last year in athletics too. I think he completed a PhD recently, right? If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they're introducing the guys here. There's Bassett Varham, Dos Santos, Benjamin Samba. Good to see him. Lima and Akiakum and Akam from Turkey. Asir saying Pauline Davis. I remember her finishing second behind Jones in the 200 meters. Yeah, she did, but she was upgraded with a gold medal because Marion Jones's uh, Sydney performances, they were all stripped. So it was her who got the gold medal, and I think the Sri Lankan athlete, what's her name again? Jana Singh, I think. I can't remember her name. But she got the silver medal upgraded, and Bev McDonald from Jamaica got the bronze. And Debbie Ferguson McKenzie was in that race too. I think she came fifth or but upgraded to fourth, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and even the 100 meters, a bunch of people got stripped. So much so they didn't even issue a gold medal, I don't think, in the Olympic the 100 meters for women. Yeah. I expect this is built for Varham to win because he really is the athlete that gets out a lot. When Varham struggles in the 400 meter hurdles, it's usually hurdle 8, 7 to 10, somewhere around there. So if he's in good shape here, he should attack this. I'm not quite sure what we'll get from Rai Benjamin. He hasn't even run a 400-meter hurdles this season, so we'll wait to see here. And Dos Santos is in good shape too. Been dominating the Grand Slam track. Samba, we haven't seen Samba in a while. Well, we've seen him, but he's one of those athletes he's one of the rare what's it? Rare 4 to 6 club athlete. So 33:03 is the season best time for Varham, technically the world best or world record. Let's see what we get here. I suspect it should be quicker. All right, so this is a really, really good. Oh, what a good start there from Benjamin. He's already up on the Santos, and also Varham moving away from Bassett and going around. This is really, really quick running here. Benjamin is going, the Santos is going to, but it looks like Benjamin is in the lead. He's going into the home straight ahead of Varham, but now Varham is eating down the track. He's blazing it away. He's going to open up on Benjamin and the Santos. 32:67. That's a new world record. Takes his shirt off in ecstatic form. That is a ridiculous time. He ran 33:03 recently and he just took it down to 32:67. That is a fantastic performance from Varham. Like I predicted, I expected him to be in the best of shape for this. I didn't anticipate that Rai Benjamin would come off the curve before him. But 32:67 to 33:22 from Benjamin. The Santos 33:80, 33:38, and Samba 33:84. Let me get that up on the screen. Varham ran down Benjamin here, which is interesting. That's the official thing there. Yesterday in a press conference, they had Kevin Young interviewing all these guys. That was good to see. Let's see. Benjamin started well. Benjamin had about a 2 meter lead there, maybe less than maybe a meter lead on Varham. He also hit the hurdle there, but maybe he's just not as race sharp. This is his first real race over barriers, so it's pretty good. Three of the best we've ever seen lined up over 300-meter hurdles. Again, I'm not a fan of this event, but it is what it is. It's a world record performance or a world best body, and we'll see them again in action on Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been an interesting meeting. It's good to see Julien and Alfred over 100 meters. I like what I saw there. This is a great performance here from Varham. Jordan Scott, obviously, edging closer to what you hope is 18 meters. I don't know if he can, but that was a good look from him in terms of a performance there. 800 meters was decent. Wanyonyi holding off uh, a bunch of athletes there to win. Yeah, women's steeplechase, that final finish with Yavi and Cheretich, really good performance. World leading time from Faith Cheretich, 9:02:60 to 9:02:76. Really good run there. So yeah, some interesting performance here. Bislett Games always deliver, I believe, and so yeah. Anyway, Paulette, how are you doing? What is Alfred time? Julien ran 10.89 seconds for what I would consider a really easy 10.8. You know, it's the win was 1.1, so there's a little bit of helping hand there. but she executed maybe the first part decent. I would say it was not a great execution from Julien. She can do much better. But when you look at her, you realize there's a lot more in the tank. First 100 meter for the season, pretty easy running. Women's 400 meters too was a fabulous run. Isabella Whitaker, an athlete to watch here, 49.58, ahead of Henrietta Jager from Norway, who ran a PB and a national record of 49.62. Amber Anning also running there, and Adelike, but none of them crack the 50-second barrier, only Jager and Whitaker. So interesting times. Track and field is in full swing right now. We will be back soon. I'll try to get back on a live maybe tomorrow, depending on what's happening. But again, for Sunday, I watch along for the Stockholm Diamond League. I'm going to call it this evening, guys. Sorry for the late start in terms of the stream, but the systems that we use, they're all down for some cloud service issues. So unfortunately, we couldn't come, and fortunately, couldn't get your comments on the screen the way we normally do. But we promise to rectify that, and next time we'll see you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Go check out the NCA. Lots of action there in Oregon, and I'll see you soon. You guys take care. Bye-bye.